What's up, fuckers?
Back to the podcast.
This is Talking Shit with Seth and Earl. I am not Earl.
And I am not Seth.
Let's get that straight.
So, this is episode 6.
6. Yes, 6.
It's difficult to keep track of them because we record so damn many of them, but 6, yeah.
We're doing good.
Yep.
Whether you like us or not.
So, let's just jump straight in. I've got an interesting topic. I've been browsing the webs, and I would like to
Earl,
know.
I don't know if what have you been browsing? Because is it...
That's for me. That's for...
Okay, all right.
I do some stuff, and then I've been browsing the web, and there's things I'll share, and there's things I won't share.
That's
right?
a very diplomatic answer. I like it.
Do you believe in free will? Just straight in there, we're going fucking deep this episode.
Oh, you want me to become serious? Oh, damn it.
Mm-hmm. See, we can switch because we're just talking shit.
Yeah, free will. Let's see. So I believe that when you say free will, do you mean that I get to choose what I'm going to say next and do?
I don't know. What do you believe in?
Okay, here's what I believe. Let me say it that way.
What's free will for you?
So, free will, I believe that no one gets to make your choices for you, except for yourself. But I believe that God knows the answer already. Well, I don't know. I say that, but then it's like, I don't know if God knows what's going to happen already.
An all-knowing God would know.
Yeah, I guess. See, that's one of those things where it's like, it's not like, so you got the basics of your belief, okay? Like, I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. I believe in heaven. I believe in hell. And then there's all that little stuff that it's like, well, what do you believe? It's like, I don't know. It's not in the book. Like, it's like, I don't know. It's like, I guess
I have to think for this one.
It's like I can think, but I don't like. If I'm thinking, that means that I just don't have an answer.
Tell my belief in free will.
Go ahead. You give yours, and I'll touch base back on mine.
You can.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
Because I think that'll be better for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
I already know my belief.
Okay. Cool.
Super fast. My belief is there is no such thing as free will.
Sorry, that was fucking downfall.
There is no. Okay. So there's no such thing as free will, and the reason I believe there's no such thing as free will is because I'll start with there's this guy called Sam Harris. He talks a lot of shit basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But he says that this is the reason why he thinks there's no free will, and he plays this story. Let's pretend that you went to a park and you fell asleep on the grass. Yeah.
All right.
If you wake up and a crocodile rips off your arm. Yeah. Right?
Okay, this is a fucked up park, but all right.
If you wake up and a crocodile is ripped off your arm and you're there screaming, you live. But is it the crocodile's fault? Or is that crocodile just a crocodile? Being a crocodile?
Well, the crocodile made a decision to do it at that time.
So the crocodile had a free choice. The crocodile said, I'm free to do my own thing. I'm going to chew off this guy's arm.
Yeah, I mean, the crocodile could have walked past you and gone something else, but you were an easy meal.
So okay, that's interesting. So I'll spin it a different way. You fall asleep in a park and you wake up and a guy's got an axe and he cuts off your arm.
Where the fuck is this park at? Because I don't want to go there.
Yeah, but the guy cuts off your arm, right?
All right.
He's obviously, like, in our justice system, the guy is guilty. He cut off your arm.
Yeah.
He made a conscious choice to cut off your arm.
True.
But the crocodile is just a crocodile.
Well, I think brain chemistry, there's a big difference between a crocodile, because even a crocodile, his brain is like that fucking big.
Yeah, but I think the majority of people would say it's just a crocodile being a crocodile.
Well,
but
yeah,
the guy is a bad man, and we should lock him up for it.
True, but if you actually look at some of the things that serial killers have done, like there was a guy by the name, I don't know his name, but he was kidnapped and by John Wayne Gacy, famous serial killer. Okay, kidnapped by John Wayne Gacy, and I think he was tortured a little bit. He might have been raped.
Probably.
Well, like I'm not trying to talk. Like it's not funny.
That's just
poor
what
fucker.
these bad guys do.
Well, but yeah, I know, but but anyways. So anyways, back to the story. He got abducted by John Wayne Gacy, and for whatever reason, John Wayne Gacy made the decision to let him live. He didn't kill him like almost all of his other um, victims. Why? Well, he just made a decision. I can't tell you why he did that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like saying like why does anything do anything? It has a brain. It gets to make its own decisions. It's like what's going through its brain at the time? I don't know because I'm not that thing.
Yeah.
So like I think everything gets to make its decision about something. We don't know why it does what it does because it has its own brain. I think the brain.
So we're not free. It's just the brain that's controlling us.
Well, that's like, well, is it you or the brain, or are you just a brain trapped
I
in a
don't control my brain.
cell? Like,
I don't control my brain though.
but that's what I'm saying. But like, you are your brain. Like, there's some people that say like, well, you are actually just your brain is trapped inside a meat prison.
Do you feel like a brain though? I mean, I don't. If someone said you are the brain, I'd be like, I don't think.
Well, yeah, but like, I mean,
I'm.
you're getting real philosophical here. I'm just gonna put in some real fucking perspective. Like, a person gets to choose what the fuck they're gonna do or not. That's why you get to go to prison or not because you made decisions. True
Yeah.
enough.
Well, if someone gets arrested for murdering someone,
Yeah.
and then we find out that they had a brain tumor that caused that behavior,
Yeah,
it's
but
not their fault.
yes. Okay, so we're always working under the assumption that you have a healthy, functional brain under normal circumstances.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's the brain that controls the actions, not the person.
Yes, but that's what I'm saying. Like, we are normally working under assumption that this individual has a healthy, normal brain. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
without any. That's not saying defects like tumors pressing on certain parts of the brain that are causing extra chemicals to be released that aren't supposed to be there, something along those lines. A better question would be not so much a tumor, but a certain mutation, like a genetic mutation, that causes an individual, for whatever reason, to have certain tendencies.
Mm-hmm.
Because that could be a real thing. There could be a genetic mutation.
Well, yeah, the brain tumor is a real thing too.
Yeah, but I'm saying like that's a thing that we know cannot be controlled. But here's something that someone on trial could also use that you could call bullshit on it, or you could not, but it's going to make you think either way. Say you have an individual, and all right, I'm going to give you an example.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only example I can think of at this time, but it's going to be used for a different thing. So don't everybody freak out when I first say this. There is a genetic mutation in fruit flies that causes males to become homosexual. It's a proven fact. Like we read about this in grad school. It's real. It's a genetic mutation in their DNA, and it causes males to become homosexual. Okay. Now I'm not using this example for talking about homosexuals and stuff like that. I'm
You
using
just
this,
wanted to talk about.
well, no,
I'm
no. It's the
joking.
only example that I can think of
Yeah,
of a
yeah, yeah.
genetic
Yeah,
mutation
sure.
that causes someone to do something outside of what they would normally do. But anyways, the example that I'm talking about, say you have a prisoner who committed a murder, like he's a sociopath. Now, if science could prove that this individual had a genetic mutation outside of the normal human genome that causes them to do extraordinarily odd things, okay? Now that's proven. Like this individual has a genetic defect,
Mm-hmm.
okay? This is not that's this is science telling you that they have something different in their body, in their genetic makeup that's making them do certain things. That would be a question that you would have to go to like an ethics committee or something. Like, what do we do? Because this individual, if they weren't born with this, they wouldn't have done that.
Yeah, but it's the same thing with the brain tumor.
But I'm saying like a brain tumor in court, they pretty much everyone will be like, yeah, he's good. Like we understand, we got it. Like, we're okay. Like we'll send him to therapy or something like that, or we'll give him like medical treatment. We're not going to hold him accountable necessarily for his actions the same way that you wouldn't hold necessarily a pregnant mother accountable for all her actions because everybody knows that her hormones at a certain time during pregnancy literally causes her to act outside of her normal self.
Yeah.
Like there are these things, but there's a lot of stuff that we haven't identified just yet, or we don't really fully understand. So, like, if there was a genetic mutation that was causing certain people to do like these violent acts, what would something like that, like, how would someone react to that in a court setting if they could prove it?
Yeah, but I'm going to go a step further and say that these people who kill people,
Hmm.
it's the same thing.
No, I think that there probably is.
Because it's cause and effect, right?
Yeah,
Scientifically, that's how the
yeah.
shit works. So these people
They
are
probably
born.
haven't found. You're absolutely right. I agree with you. They probably have not found this. They haven't identified the source of it yet, but I guarantee
Yeah,
you that.
because it's so complicated. You'd have to look at every single
Mhm.
variable in someone's life, and not only in someone's life, but you've got genes that are passed down from fathers, mothers.
And I think the genetic thing I think would play more into it than the environmental influences because and I've talked about this. I think they say nature versus nurture. I'm a firm believer in the nurture, the things that like what you're raised around definitely influences you on how you become. Not all the time, but like
Right.
on the majority as.
So going back to the question,
Mhm.
you said we do have free will,
Yes.
but free will is something different.
All right, that is an interesting point. I didn't dive into that as much as I did just now. I haven't done that before. So, um,
We are so
that's a good
so.
question.
Let me say, is this what you're saying? We all have self control
Let me say this.
because what you just said is that there's causes and effects, and if that's the case, then we don't really have control. I mean,
Well,
we don't have choices. We can't make the choice because the choice is what we would have made based on all the causes.
based on our current understanding of science, like what I currently know, here's what I would say. Normal human brain, where everything, like we don't, not that we're unaware of, like they don't have a tumor, they don't have anything currently that we're aware of that is causing an imbalance of some kind at some point in the brain. Like we're just talking about a healthy human being.
Hmm.
I believe they get to make their own choices. Yes. I believe they are making their own choices.
How? How if everything led them there to that point? If every single attribute and variable in their life,
Because at the
like you being a hunter, is because you grew up in that environment.
true.
So did you choose,
I believe
or
well,
was you
here's what I say.
highly influenced to come
You
to that?
have there are influential factors, but the act is a choice.
But
I get to choose to go to hunting season. I get to go to the cabin every year. I get to make that choice.
do you
Do I
make
want
that
to get
choice, or is that the choice that your brain would always
I
make?
have already I get to make the choice.
Okay,
Yes,
going
I get to
back to
make the choice.
choices, going back to the choices that you get to make.
Yes.
This is a fucking deep episode, first
This
of all.
this is a deep one, guys. If you're listening for funny, there'll probably be some moments, but this is a deep one.
We flew in deep on
Yeah,
this
we
one.
did, we did.
It's different though because all the other ones have been mostly about shit. But
Well, we do that every now and then. We dive deep and
yeah,
we get serious.
yeah. So um, going back to choices,
Yes.
you said that you get to make the choice to be a hunter or not be a hunter.
Hmm.
You get to make the choice if you want to go to the cabin or not go to the cabin.
Yes, I do.
Okay. If I took your brain and put it in my body, I would make the same choice, 100%,
Hmm.
because that's your brain. That's how your brain is wired to make the choice.
Yes, but then you're me.
Yeah, but I'm saying the wiring in your brain, it's your brain making the choice unconsciously. You're not making any choice. There's no choice to be made. Let's say, let's say,
I'm not sure I fully get what you
yeah,
just said there.
yeah. Let me try and rephrase it. Okay, so do you agree that if I gave you a mathematics equation, yeah, and I said, Seth, solve for x, yeah, you could have ideas and assumptions about what x is, but until you've made the calculation, you could have ideas and assumptions about what x will be, like the outcome, like x, because at that point when the problem is unsolved, x could be equal to 1, equal to 2. You don't know the answer, right?
Mhm.
But you could have some assumption based on the question. Like, what's your favourite food? You know some of the outcomes, but not favourite food. But what would you like to eat? You know some of the outcomes. It might be pizza, might be Italian, might be fucking Indian, right? You know some of the outcomes, but you don't know the answer until you've calculated.
I have all the answers right now in my head for everything
But do
that
you
you're
agree
going.
with that?
Well,
You don't know the answer to the equation until you've calculated.
yes.
You can make assumptions on the outcome.
Hmm.
So when you are deciding, that's before you've made the calculation.
Hmm.
So all of those outcomes that could possibly be it, they're not. And it just seems like those could be outcomes, but they're not. And they never would be because the calculation's not completed until it's completed. And then you go, I'm going hunting. You get me?
I get you.
Okay.
You want me to
Yeah.
give my answer? Okay. And I think this is where just my generalization, my general thought process kicks in. Um, that was a very philosophical, very
I'm a philosophical guy.
that was just absolutely
Appreciate
poignant
it.
how you put that thought process together. All right, now here's fucking reality. Um, you get to make your own fucking choices. That's why you get to have, like, if you do a crime, you're convicted by a jury or peers
No,
because you have a
no.
bunch of people.
Yeah, I disagree.
Well, you may disagree, but that's exactly what 12 men or 12 people in a fucking courtroom are. They're
No,
a
no.
jury
I
or peers.
understand you want to get back to reality, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about your brain and how you make the choice.
Yeah, but you're asking, do you get to make your own choices? I'm saying you do. And
No, I'm not asking if you get to make your own choices.
well, that's what free will is,
I'm
isn't it?
saying there's an equation in your brain, and your brain's calculating the equation.
You asked me, do I have free will?
Yeah,
Do
but
I get to make my.
I was talking about this equation and how your brain is
Yeah, but
calculating.
the original question was, do you have free will? Do you get to
Okay,
make
but
your own choices?
I just gave you that whole thing, and then you just said you get to make your own fucking choices. Going back to a question from the beginning,
So we're no longer asking that single question. That's not the
you
basis
said
of the conversation.
you said the brain. We agreed the brain makes the choice, right?
So what is your question then? Because the question originally, we're using a lot of different things. We're talking and putting all this stuff together to answer one single question, are we not?
Yeah.
What is that question? Do you get to make your own
Do you
choice? Do
have
you have
free
free
will?
will?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I said you do. I'm saying that there's a lot of different stuff that you can look at, but ultimately, I still feel that you can make your own choices. And I feel that's why, as people, we have to remember that when things are happening.
Yeah, but that's not what you said. You said there's no fucking free will. This is reality. I mean,
I didn't say that there's no free will. I said there is free
yeah,
will. You
you
get to
said
make
this
your own
is fucking
choices.
reality. Like
It is
it
reality.
wasn't
Like,
like going along the process that we were going.
I
You just
think
kind
that,
of disregarded.
so what I'm saying is, I think that you can dive into things so far that you can ignore just the basics of it. It's like, did I just go do like that? Can I touch my dog right now?
Yes, because your brain is telling you to do that. It's a calculation in your brain.
It's a calculation in your brain.
Yes, it's not a choice.
What is the difference between a choice and a calculation? Because now you're just looking at semantics. Like what? Okay, like you're saying it's a calculation in my brain, okay, and I'm saying it's a choice. What's the difference?
Because a calculation is only one answer.
Well, that's not true. There's sometimes several answers to one calculation. You can have positive answers, you can have negative answers, and they can be the same answer.
But
They can be correct answers,
there's only
both of
one
them.
answer though.
Well, that's not true because if I ask you, what times what equals 4, you could say -2 times -2 equals 4. You could say +2 times +2 equals 4. Sometimes there's many different answers to a single question.
Yeah,
All right, well there, like I'm saying, like what are we even talking about right now?
I'm saying about choice.
All right,
If I say heads or tails,
yes,
you say
whatever.
just pick one.
Heads.
So you say heads. So what led up to that point? Was that free will or was that a brain calculation?
Free will may so
It,
free will.
we agreed it was the brain.
I said that's one way to look at it, but yeah.
Scientifically, what is it?
What is?
Is it your brain scientifically?
I mean, ultimately,
Yeah,
it's just positive and negative charges making this, or just
in
like,
your brain.
yeah,
Yeah. So I was saying, does the brain make the choice? Or there is no choice, is what I'm saying. Because we went back to the hunting thing, yeah? You being a hunter and you choosing to be a hunter.
yeah,
What led up to that? There are causes and effects that led
yes,
up to you being a hunter. If I lived your life, your path, everything that ever happened to you happened to me,
yeah.
I'd be a hunter too.
So why do some people make choices that are outside of their normal decision? Like if I decide not to go to hunting camp this year, and everyone's like, that doesn't make any sense. That's not what Seth would do at all.
Because there's a cause.
Is there?
Yeah, there is. It's an unconscious calculation in your brain. 90% of the brain's processing is unconscious. You don't know how your brain works. You don't know how you beat your heart.
So, but
You don't choose to beat your heart. You don't choose to.
well, there's two sides of your brain. You understand? You have your conscious and you have your unconscious. Your
Yeah,
subconscious and your conscious.
yeah.
So there are things that you aren't making decisions about that your body's doing all the time, like you just said. But then there's also things that you do make decisions about. Like if I'm sitting here and I decide to turn on the television, I still made that choice to turn on the television. That is my conscious, the conscious side of my brain, because it's divided. You have unconscious, conscious, or subconscious, conscious. You are getting to make a choice for some of those things. Whether you say like, well, you were breathing and you didn't get to make that, well, that's a completely different thing because it's a different part of your brain that's making that decision.
So what I'm saying about the choice to turn the TV on
Yes.
is that's what you would do anyway.
No, I disagree with
You
that.
just made the choice to turn the TV on.
Yes, I made that choice. That's what I'm saying.
Then
I
it's
made a choice.
you made it.
Yes. So you're saying that because I did something, I have no choice.
I'm saying because you did it, that's what you did, and that's what you would always do. That's what you, Seth, would do always.
You're just saying that, but you're just saying that you're right, essentially. All you said was, I'm right. You said that, and you said, but this is why. And you just said, you said, and if I'd say, like, why today, you'd be like, because. You're really just saying because. You're not actually answering or asking anything. You're saying because.
How am I saying because?
I said, I get to make a conscious decision to turn the television on. You said, no, but you already made that decision. I was like, you didn't answer anything there. You're just saying because.
I'm saying your brain unconsciously makes these
I'm saying that there's a
calculations.
conscious and a subconscious and a conscious section of the brain. Okay?
Yeah.
The subconscious makes decisions for you without you having to think about them. And there's a conscious part that you actually get to decide what to do. You are making a choice. Okay? Now, your definition of that is how you're really discerning.
Let me throw a different thing out.
Okay.
Okay, we'll go somewhere else. So pick any city in the world.
Chicago.
Why didn't you pick London?
I don't know.
Were you free to pick London?
Yes.
Did London come into your head?
I was also free to pick Chicago.
Did London come into your head?
No.
So, but you had free will. You had any city in the whole world. You had total free range, every single city.
Yes.
But London never came into your head.
Yes.
So how is it that you had free will if London was never a choice in your head?
So no. Here's my thing. What if there were two things that I was thinking of and I picked one of them?
But London still didn't come into your head.
No, but I'm asking you this. I'm saying like if I was thinking Philadelphia and Chicago and I picked Chicago, I made a decision to pick Chicago.
You did.
Yes.
That's what it seems like.
Okay.
But London was one of those choices as well. You would have not picked it.
Okay, what's your point?
My point is, how free is it? How free was the choice? It wasn't free. You had two choices. In your mind, in your brain, you came up with these two possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
But you didn't only have two.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
So you do have, there are many choices. There are many options, and I picked one.
But
so that is a free choice.
But you didn't have, London was never a choice for you.
But it could have been.
Yeah, but not for your brain.
But I've been to London, so I could have done that one.
But I asked, did you think of London?
I didn't.
You
Yeah.
didn't think of it because
Okay.
your brain
But I
isn't
made a
wired.
choice to pick the one that I did. There were other cities I was thinking about, and I picked that one. I did make a decision. Why would I only pick that one instead of the other one? Because I just chose that one.
Why didn't you pick Cairo?
I didn't think of Cairo. Okay, but
That's what I'm saying. It's not free. It's not totally free. It's not complete.
I disagree. I disagree.
All the cities in the world.
I was free to pick Philadelphia. I was free to pick Philadelphia, and I didn't pick it.
Yeah.
Okay. You're ignoring that part. You're only looking at your single part. You're ignoring this part.
But you're also ignoring my piece.
So we're both ignoring different parts of each other?
Yeah, that's what I think we're getting off at.
Okay, so you're saying that there are influential factors.
I'm saying your choice wasn't free.
Okay, but you're saying that there are influential factors that are helping make your decision. Is that correct? So you're saying it's not completely free because there's influential factors.
Right, but do you understand the thought?
Yeah, that
experiment?
If that's what I'm getting from you, you're saying that it's not entirely free. Your definition of freedom is there are no influential factors.
No. So my actual belief is there is no free will. It is all just, it's all just in your brain. It's all just this. You don't even decide. The fact that you chose Chicago.
Yeah.
And you.
Back. Sorry, we had my phone had full storage there for a second, so I had to delete some unwanted.
Yeah.
Like
sorry, we got like into it, but.
No, that's good. That's good stuff.
Was it all good?
I like it.
Okay.
It gets heated. This is what.
Okay.
What the fuck else
are we
gonna do this for?
Good shit.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So I want to. We had some discussion between our fiancés and wives and me and Earl here while we had off camera.
So shall I go back to the point about God's will?
Sure. Yeah. Go.
Is that a good place to start? Okay. So it's my belief that we don't have free will. Okay. There is only one will, and it's the will of God, and we all act that.
Okay. All right.
So you can.
Anything else? Okay. So in the Bible, it talks about you are only saved if you believe in Jesus, and like you guys can believe whatever you want. I'm not personally trying to save every person in the world. I mean, I'd love to, but whatever. You believe whatever you want to believe. But what I'm saying is, it said this goes back to the point about the free will conversation. So you can, like I had said before in a different podcast, it's like a person could do all the kind of shit that they want to do, but if they make the choice to accept Jesus, and then God forgives you and all that kind of stuff. So you're making the choice to ask for forgiveness and accept Jesus.
I see where this is going.
Yeah. So you're making that free will choice to accept someone as your savior or something like that. If that wasn't the case, I think it would contradict what it says in the Bible.
What does it say in the Bible? Oh, do you have to make a choice?
That you have to, if you want to go to heaven, if you want to experience like eternal life, you ask for forgiveness from Jesus. You can, if you don't, then you don't get to experience that.
So in my view of the world,
okay,
everyone's innocent. The world is perfect.
Okay.
Because that's the way that God made the world. God doesn't make mistakes.
So, and just so we're all aware, like, we may not be able, like, at the end of the day, Earl's going to think.
Oh, yeah, we're going to disagree.
We know that this is going down this road. He's
going to
have his. Yeah, he's going to have his decision.
Okay, we're back again. We're having some technical difficulties. We were saying that although me and not Seth.
Yeah, I'm not Earl. He's not Seth.
Right, yeah. Although we disagree, we know we're going to disagree, and it's healthy to disagree.
Yeah, we know. Trust me. Yeah. Earl has very strong thoughts. I have very strong thoughts. I know I'm not going to change his mind.
But it's healthy to disagree.
There's nothing wrong with being able to recognize that.
Yes.
And say, like, look, I don't agree with you. I don't think I'm going to... I know I'm not going to change your point of view. But we're not. But I want you to at least see where I'm coming from.
Yeah, and that like, going into the first part of the video, that's why it got a little bit heated, because he didn't see where I was coming from, and I wasn't getting his point. And so that's actually...
But there's nothing wrong with that. But at the end of the day, here's where it comes down to. It's like, sometimes you do just have to, like we're not going to agree. Right. You actually have to say that. Because
That's just how it is.
Yeah, it's like if you don't actually come out and say that, sometimes you are trying to change someone and you don't stop.
You know what would have been amazing?
Huh.
If after the video cut off, we just cut back and I've got like a black
Yeah, just
ice
like
pack.
so we're back and
It's okay to disagree, everyone.
don't worry about Earl.
Yeah.
Don't worry about Earl with the peas on his
We're
face
going to
right
continue disagreeing.
now. Yeah.
It's all good. That's why I've got no teeth. That's why, isn't it?
Yeah. So, but Earl's point. Go ahead, say your point.
Okay, so I'm going to repeat it because I don't know where the video cut off. So my point was about we don't have free will. There is only one will, and it's the will of the Almighty God.
Yeah.
And then Seth's point, let me phrase it, was in the Bible, in order to go to heaven, you have to choose to come to Jesus.
Yeah, it can't be. So, like, we all understand that someone could say something under duress or something like that. Like, if someone's pulling my fingernails off, they could probably get me to say a lot of different stuff that I wouldn't normally say. But without any outside pressure, I get to make a decision that is mine. Now, to Earl's point, yes, you do have like what he said about like why did I pick Chicago. If I was only from India, and I knew nothing about the United States, I probably wouldn't say anything about the United States. So your environment does influence your decisions. However, I do believe that you ultimately have a choice to say what you're going to say. Now, yes, you have influential factors, but you yourself get to make the final decision. So that's my thought process.
Yeah. And then going back to what I was saying about how the world is perfect, how God made it, God doesn't make mistakes. What do you think about that? Does your God make mistakes?
No, I don't think God makes mistakes, but I think that God makes things not perfect. So like Jesus, we all understand that Jesus was considered the only perfect person because he never sinned, he didn't do anything wrong. It's like we have, at least according to the Bible, my background in Catholicism and everything like that, like why do you get baptized? Well, you have original sin. So the original sin is like where Adam and Eve, they ate from the fruit of not from the fruit. Well, it was the tree of good and evil, or yeah. Well, it wasn't a tree of life. There was two trees.
It was good and evil.
It was good and evil, yeah. So they ate from that tree. That was the original sin. Okay. Now my idea is that you have to wash away that original sin. I'm doing a bunch of bullshit, guys. Like, I ultimately believe that, you get to make your decision. Like, we're not perfect. I believe God made everything. I don't know, ultimately, if God knows what I'm going to do next. I don't. I truly don't. I can say, like, I believe this, I believe that. But at the end of the day, I really don't know. But I would say, sorry, I just want to finish this thought out, and then I'll get back. Carmen has something to say. What I'm going to say, I don't know if God knows what I'm going to do next. I'm not God, so I can't tell you. I don't know what I'm going to do next. But I believe that I have the choice to make the decision on what I'm going to do next. I believe the idea of not being able to choose is someone actually telling me, you're going to pick what I'm going to tell you to do.
We might agree. I believe that you believe you have a choice. I believe that I believe I have a choice.
Okay.
Like, I believe in the illusion of free will. Like, obviously,
I think a lot of it comes down to what we're, like, our words or semantics. Like our definitions here.
Like, to me, obviously, we think we're making a decision. Obviously. Yeah. Otherwise, there'd be no argument.
Yeah, it'd be like if someone put a gun to your head, like, say this. It's like, they're forcing you to say something. That is not your normal choice.
So we can agree on there is a belief in free will for everyone. Everyone has to have a belief in free will.
So would you say that some of what we're talking about can kind of go back to just definitions of words and how you perceive them? Because if I say, like, free will. Well, free will to somebody may mean, like in your case, the idea of this, and to me, it's just like that. Yeah, I just call it that. Like, so we're really talking about the same thing. Like, we are making decisions every day.
I believe that we believe we're making decisions every day.
Okay.
I can see why someone would think we're making decisions every day.
So, you believe you're making decisions every day?
No.
But you believe you believe.
Yep.
Alrighty.
It's kind of an illusion.
Yeah.
It's the illusion of choice. That's
The illusion of choice. Okay. So Earl believes in the illusion of choice. I just believe in the choice.
Right.
There you go. What do you guys think? Well, Carmen, what would you? We didn't get back to
I
your
wanted
point.
to circle back to that comment about God doesn't make mistakes.
God don't make mistakes, yeah.
He made us perfect.
Yeah.
We, with our free will, made us imperfect.
That's what you're led to believe, yeah, sure. Okay, my God is all powerful, all knowing, yeah. He does not make mistakes. He knows what's going to happen.
Because he knows the future, but that doesn't mean he's influencing your decisions.
I don't know. I don't know if God knows the
How
answer
could
or
you
not.
possibly, an all-knowing God would know what you're going to do?
I don't know if God knows. I don't know if God built us intentionally with the idea of like, you get to do this. I'm giving you the ability to surpass even me knowing what you're going to do next. I don't know if he built it. I don't know. I don't know what God did. Like, I wasn't there when he made creation. Thank goodness, because I probably would have done some weird stuff. But
yeah, this is actually funny because, you know, in the other episodes, I always say how you're all real, like reality, realistic, and I always say how I'm philosophical.
Yes.
And so Seth,
these are very, and it's a good philosophical discussion.
But I also like Seth's more this and this and this, and I'm like, we can, you know, we like
except on free will, apparently.
That's not it. You know what I mean? You have to.
Well, here's the thing. The idea of like, did God build you and he knows what you're going to do next? There is a truth. There is, and we've said this before, there is a truth. We can believe, we can say, but we don't know. Or we don't have, like, it. There is a truth. Okay? Somebody's going to be wrong. Okay? Somebody's going to believe something, another person's going to believe another thing. Somebody's going to be wrong. Okay? But there is a truth. I know for a fact that God knows the answer. I don't. I really don't. But I believe that God gave us the ability to make our own choices. That's what I believe. But who's to say I'm wrong?
I am. No.
Earl has the free will decision.
No,
to
but
disagree.
It's like no one even fucking knows if there is a God, first of all, and no one even knows what's the right God, and no one even knows any of this. But that's why I was in the very first point. I was trying to go a scientific way, but we kind of left that. Like I was trying to say, this is science. This is like what the scientific community believe. Like this is like been studied. People can monitor your brain and know the decision before you know the decision. Like that's proven. There's studies that give people choices between red or blue, and we can monitor your brainwaves, and we know your choice before you do.
But into that point, like, what is, just because the words didn't come out of your mouth yet doesn't mean that you didn't make the decision in your head.
Yeah, but you don't know that you made a decision in your head until we know before you even know.
Yeah, because you didn't say anything yet.
Yeah, because that's why I was getting to the calculation. The calculation, the equation, the massive algorithm that is your life from the birth of your ancestors, all the genes that have come through now, all the different choices and different environmental effects of how your parents raised you, all the bullying aspects from school, every single thing you've ever seen, all of that goes into this calculation of you picking red or blue.
Mm-hmm.
So how could you possibly know that you chose blue when you don't know, because you think that you could have chose red, but because of all of that stuff that I've said, you could never possibly have chose red at that moment because everything led to you choosing blue.
I don't know why, but the whole time we've been having this conversation, I've actually been going back to that movie that I was talking about at the beginning, The Best of Enemies. Like the guy that he was a leader of the Ku Klux Klan, and they had at the end of the movie a vote to decide whether to segregate or desegregate the schools. And everybody knew that the pretty girl that they put on the white people side, they all knew that she was going to vote to desegregate the schools. So they went to her house and threatened her with a knife and basically said, "You're not going to fucking talk or we're going to kill you." Okay. So that's what they did. But everyone knew that the Ku Klux Klan guy was going to vote, yeah, keep them segregated. But he did have influential factors in his life. The woman helped his son who had Down syndrome get a room of his own so he wasn't with a guy that was keeping him on edge all the time. So, yes, I believe that there are influential factors in your life that will influence your decision. I just think at the end of the day, you are still making a decision. Like your brain is, it gets into the semantic. Like there is I think a lot of this comes down to like the definition of the word "you." Is you your brain, the chemical makeup of your brain, like what, like that? You kind of get into a gray area of what you actually
And
is.
that's why we literally said what is what. Yeah,
Yeah,
we got to there.
yeah. But I think when I say you make a decision based off of your life and everything like that. But I do think you are making that decision. I don't think.
And then my next part of that was,
Yeah.
if I put you in the exact same place again, you would still always make the same choice. Always, because everything led up to that point. That was my original point. All of those variables, it's a huge algorithm of calculations. Everything leads up mathematically to you choosing blue over red. And given the same situation and all of the exact same variables, you would always choose blue. So therefore, how could you have ever chosen red? You understand me now? I think.
Yeah, I get a better understanding of what you were saying now.
Yes. How could you have ever chosen red? Because red, you would not do it. And if I put you in that position 1,000 million times, you'd always choose blue. Therefore, there's no choice of red.
But at the same time, I don't know if that's true.
Yes,
I don't.
that's what I said. You don't know.
But yeah,
That's why I said you've got a kind of an illusion of choice, because you don't know you're going to pick blue or red at the point.
Well, and my understanding of my understanding of science is I can't go back in time, so I cannot prove what you just said is true. So I don't know.
But
I get your thought process.
Mathematically,
I get.
It kind of is.
It makes sense what you're saying.
Okay.
It makes sense.
Okay,
but I can't
thank
prove
you.
that to be correct or incorrect. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, right.
I get what he's saying.
Because
So, like,
it's a
if you could-
mathematical equation.
Yeah, it would
Yeah,
be an
okay,
easy test
great.
if you could travel back in time. He just did,
Yeah.
and I just said I understand.
Yes. Okay. Good.
And what I'm saying is the example.
Yeah, Seth's going to explain what I just was trying to say. Yeah.
I'm just trying to say for my own purpose, so
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can try and wrap my
Yeah,
head
yeah.
around it. If you were to go back in time and relive the same situation 100 times, would the outcome always be the same? That's a good question. That is a good question. I don't know.
But
cannot-
based on what we know about science, based on cause and effect, based on a mathematical calculation, all of the different variables, it would always be that.
But of course, variables play into your choice. If I give you a rotten hamburger and a new hamburger, are you going to choose the rotten?
Never.
I gotta say, I'm probably gonna go with Earl though. Like,
Never. You're never
I'm
gonna.
gonna probably side with
Okay,
Earl in this
so
situation.
what-
You base your choices on your knowledge and understanding.
if
Exactly.
everything
You're not
is
going to blindly
But it's a
choose what you don't know
mathematical
about.
well,
equation.
I'm gonna say this though. If everything was exactly the same, and say you were always
Yes.
you had the exact same feelings, the exact
Yes.
same moment in time,
Yes.
you would make the exact same decision. He's probably right. You probably would.
Yes, that's what I was getting at.
But there's
But
a
is
reason
that-
behind your choice.
Is that
There is a reason behind your choice. It's called cause and effect. We know this scientifically.
Yeah.
That's like you're driving, and why don't you choose to run into a wall?
I'm so glad that you see it now.
Well, I get what he's saying because like everything at that moment in time,
And it's
you
fine
were
if
you
you
were
disagree
making your decision. You were making your decision
based on everything.
based on everything. Now, however, is that
Now, if you went back in time and one variable changed, then you might pick red. No one knows how that would change your decision because it's a
well
completely different equation.
true? But here, I get your point. I do
Okay.
understand your
Yes, I
point.
think you do.
But I think I don't think necessarily that means that there isn't. You're still making a calculation in your head. Like you
Yes.
are making that
That's what I
calculation.
was saying about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that calculation process that you are performing in your head,
Looks like a choice.
it looks like it, but maybe it is. I think it's like a definition at that point.
No. I know, like, okay, so you touched on it. Maybe it is. But it can't be if there's the outcome.
Well, but the outcome isn't known until after it's happened.
Yeah, but the outcome of the equation is not known until it's happened. You have to calculate it.
Yeah.
And then that's the outcome.
True.
Of those
True.
of that calculation, that's the outcome.
True. But what I'm saying though is it isn't. I don't know if it's necessarily simple math at that point. I mean, it could be because everything
it's
is.
obviously not simple.
I mean, like if you get down to the basics of like chemistry, I mean, like what is the basis of biology? Well, it's chemistry. What's the basis of chemistry? Well, it's physics. Well, what's the basic of physics? Well, it's math. Okay, so like I get what you're saying. I get that thought process. So if you just go down to simple positive the amounts of positive and negative charges, because that is the fundamental basics of everything, is it already made at that point? If you would think it from a pure mathematical standpoint, it is.
So there's the answer.
I don't like that.
But honestly,
I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
No, but it's fine. You can think on it for days. We'll come back to it, obviously. But it's one of those things that when you realize what I was saying.
No, I get what he's saying. It's
yes.
It's not. It's an uncomfortable thought.
That's why I was saying. I'm so glad.
Okay, I get it because think with me for a second.
Because you were so against the idea.
Well, yes, I get it. Okay, yes. I was against it because I don't want to. I don't want.
That's what it comes down to.
Yeah. So the basic. So biology. What is your cell made up of? Chemicals. Okay. The interaction between those chemicals is determined by their physics, which is essentially math. So you're really dealing with even that this is all theoretical physics because we cannot
comprehend it.
But God could, because we're not.
But God could.
Yes, God could, because God's all-knowing. You're talking about omnipotent being. So yes, if you want to jump down that far, you are dealing with positive and negative numbers, which all have a calculation. The calculation is not known to us because we
cannot comprehend the mind of God.
It's too complex,
yeah.
Even for the most sophisticated computers. So if you're saying that there is a calculation, but I get here to that point, and I don't know if this is correct or not, but like I said earlier, you could have. Remember when I said, "Well, what times what equals 4?"
You said there's other.
Yeah, it's like you could have different, or you could say, "What is the answer? 4 times what equals what?"
Yeah.
There can be multiple answers to the same equation.
Right, but in physics, if I have a ball at this mass and this velocity and I throw it over there, we can calculate exactly where it's going to land.
True.
If we have all the variables.
True, but I'm not there. That's not to say that there cannot be multiple answers to the same equation. I mean, just from physics, just from a math standpoint.
Well,
can there be multiple answers to the same equation?
In physics,
I'm not that good
I don't know either. But like I just
we
said
need a physicist in here.
But like I said about the ball, we could calculate exactly where it's going to land because we know all the variables. So I think in physics, if we knew all the variables, all the it would get down to the fact that you would choose blue. I think God knows. That's how God knows. How the hell could God know? Because there is this calculation that Seth would always act in this way.
But I don't know, and this is something
And
just from a
obviously-
physics standpoint, just from a number standpoint. I don't know if there are multiple answers to the same, because like we just said, there in the most simple math problems, there can be more than one answer to a single equation. So I don't know.
But
It comes back to I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know, guys.
yeah,
I
but-
don't know if you have free will or not.
but there's not multiple answers. There's only one outcome in any situation.
Well, that's not true.
How?
Well, I'm just saying from what you said about a math
No,
equation.
like there's one outcome. Like, look.
Well,
Seth,
outcome and answer to equation is kind of similar in this regard, right?
Yeah, but if I said Seth pick red or blue, there's only one thing that Seth can do.
I could do two things, so. But well, what I'm saying is like there could I don't know, like we're talking about theoretical math. I don't understand it. I don't know.
Mhm.
Are there certain equations that there are multiple answers to? Well, I know that there are in that case. There can be more than one answer in a math problem. I know that much at least. So I don't know. I'm not disagreeing. I'm not agreeing with you. I'm saying I don't know.
Mhm.
All I'm saying is I get all of the stuff you're saying. I just don't know. Because theoretical math, I don't know shit about, and I don't know if there can be more than one outcome.
I'll take it.
Yeah, we don't know.
I'll take it.
At least I've come to the impasse. I don't know, guys. I would love to believe that you do, but I
I
don't
am
know.
glad that you saw what I was getting at. That's
I
all
do
I'm
get
saying.
it. It's a very interesting point because
And
you've gone
I saw
down.
I saw that moment where you said, "Holy shit! Like this is not good." Like,
Well,
oh, yeah, all right.
all right. Well, guys, we are getting to the point where it's getting late in the night.
We ran out of time, boys.
So we had a hell of a discussion. Very good one.
It was good.
It was. Yeah. So we got to get going.
Yeah, we're gonna go this weekend. We're gonna have a fight in the ring. We're gonna see. That's gonna be the free will discussion over.
Yes, it's going to
Live on YouTube.
no holds barred. Mixed martial arts.
But yeah, good conversation. Not sure if anyone liked this one or not. Leave some comments or some shit, whatever. Do what you guys do best.
Yeah. All right. This is Talking Shit with Seth and Earl. I'm not Earl.
And I'm not Seth.
All right. You guys take care.